Hey, what's up guys, it's Nick and welcome back to GTA. Now, as I started playing GTA yesterday, as of writing this, well I found this modder. Now, what you're seeing here is me forgetting to record and starting the recording late, but basically he bought a slam van and made it into a pimp van. I mean, you can see by these monstrously huge front wheels and the lime green lines with the wheelie bar, this thing doesn't mess around. If I drove this down a neighborhood, all of the women would be chasing me, especially with these epic wheelies we could pull. We drove to the little airstrip up in the Grand Sonora Desert where we started doing more wheelies. I left the car and I folded immediately because my feet touched the top of the saws at the side of the car. He then called in another Arena War vehicle, the Dominator. As he was doing wheelies on the Dominator, I decided to flex on him a little bit and take out my furry vehicle. Once he saw this, he would never flex his cars to me ever again. And here she is, the Hot Rod Blazer. I mean, look at the exhaust, the flames on the front, just a sleek design of the whole thing. I would be lying if I said I didn't feel attraction to this vehicle. I was so confident in my new vehicle that I challenged him to a ram-off, you could call it. Basically, we would just ram our cars into each other and see who folds first. Obviously, I'll win, but I just wanted to show him that. But something weird happened. Somehow, as I hit him, I came flying off my Blazer. I've gone through the footage multiple times, asked multiple experts like GTA experts, GTA developers, former Rockstar employees, game physics experts, demolition derby drivers, even dentists. None can think of an explanation. My theory? He was using his mods. I've seen right past his tricks. I then caught up to him as he was driving away, and apparently that big shield from the back of his car can just be fucking dropped. So he dropped it and tried to send me flying off my Blazer, but just like I said, this car is basically indestructible, and so is King Clorox, and so it was merely a ramp that got me some air. He then just absolutely launched this plane into the air and gave it a good head start to space. It started gliding a bit, but ultimately met its fate. RIP plane. This helicopter spawned exactly in its place, and I got on top of it. I then told the modder dude, who we'll just call Peace, because I'm sure just using him and he is getting damn annoying now. Anyways, I told Peace to ram the helicopter while I was on it, which ended kind of anticlimactically. I kind of expected Peace to just launch me to the moon and orbit around it and kind of boomerang to my original spot and land on my feet while doing a backflip, but I guess you can't get everything in life. So I then invited him to hit me at full speed while I just sat there.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Oh wait, that was actually kind of shitty. He then hit me with his car again with the same results, but this time my Blazer took a toll. The front of it literally looks like it was turned from a solid to, well, a weak solid like some Play-Doh shit. Someone reformed it and then made it back into a solid. Or just my face after a paddle comes across it. I mean, I knew this thing was indestructible, but how far will it go? How many hits will it take until it's just dead? Another funny thing is that almost every time it gets hit, it almost always lands. So as we brainstormed how to launch me into space some more, I asked, so you got a ramp car? And well, he did. So as I fired up the engine, smoke coming out of the car, bike, motorcycle. I don't really know what to call this thing actually, but I fired up the engine and drove. I floored the accelerator and I was going a solid 35 miles an hour, and any real astronaut knows that that can get you higher than just space. And we have liftoff! Well, that was short-lived. Well, at least we landed it. I then tried to launch only my Blazer by running into it and jumping off, but instead, I just turned into a helicopter and got closer to orbit than ever before. I got into the ramp car and we basically just drove along the highway, messing shit up. I'm even gonna give you a little footage, a little taste of that drive, because damn is this car satisfying. If you're looking to just mess around in GTA Online, maybe you have like everything in the game and you're getting bored, get this car because it is awesome. So after that, we drove to this guy's facility and he showed me some of his awesome cars, and he no joke says, yeah, I don't got much in here, when he literally has the equivalent of at least $10 million in vehicles, which actually isn't that much in GTA now that I think about it. But sadly, after that, this is where our journey with peace ends. It was a great 25 minutes, but all good things have to come to an end. Of course, if I ended it here though, that would make for a short ass video and kind of a boring one. So let's see what happened next in King Clorox's great adventures. So the next day, which was Thursday, Rockstar made all MC businesses half off. So I looked at the pricing of a meth lab, which would be the second best business to buy. Unfortunately, I was a measly $200,000 short, so I would have to go and sell my bunker supplies. When I drove to my bunker and walked inside, I found that my bunker was filled so I could sell it, and I know this not because of those bars down here, but because my workers were all sitting around playing the hottest new game of the season, My Talking Tom 2. Also, I heard like 6 coughs as I walked to my computer, so I'm pretty sure I'm jeopardized. So I started the sell mission, and it gave me one of the easiest ones, the monster truck mission. For this mission, you have to drive a monster truck to these locations in the mountains, while buzzards try to shoot you down with absolutely terrible aim. Seriously, usually in this game, NPCs have superior, almost supernatural aim, where they fire a bullet from 600 feet away in the opposite direction from you, and their bullet somehow lands right between your eyes. But in this mission, the guys in the buzzards shoot as if they're cross-eyed and have a concussion, which is very good for us. And the whole time, I'm showing off my love for America by having this flag in the back of my truck. Nothing says America like selling guns in the mountains with a monster truck. So at the end of the mission, this cargo bob picks up the truck, and the buzzards just leave. It's like a game of tag in elementary school recess when the bell rings and the last person that was tagged loses. The buzzards just snap their fingers and say, ah, damn it, we'll get you next time, when nothing is stopping them from shooting down that cargo bob. I guess those are just the rules of gun running, universally. If I make it to the cell location before you can shoot me down, you lose. That's just how it goes. So I pocket $222,000, but I'm not quite in the clear yet. I still have to buy supplies for my bunker again, because if I don't, I'm eventually going to come back to it, forgetting that I didn't supply it, and I'm gonna have 0 stock, which is pretty depressing. So I do that, and now I'm like 80k short, so we're pretty close to getting that sweet meth lab. But wait, what's this? Someone AFK in a ruiner? I gotta see this for myself. I drove over to the ruiner and decided to make a bit of an entrance by dropping from the sky, but apparently seeing this godly man fall from the sky awakened the guy from being AFK. I got in the dude's car and he just started hopping with his ruiner. A car that can hop and has a parachute? Now that's worth $5.7 million. An amount that is obtainable only from a week or two of solid grinding. Or just money drops. I have the ruiner on my main account, and it was pretty awesome for like 2 minutes, and then I realized that I would never financially recover from it. So the guy asked me where I wanted to go, and I dropped some knowledge on him, where God takes me. Stanky Michael, even though not in the vehicle, decided to contribute in the conversation by saying, up your asswood. Now that is a burn. Damn you, Stanky Michael. A few minutes later into our leisurely drive, running away from the cops in an intense chase, M707, the dude who was driving me, said that when he dies, he will call me a new car that I can drive. I did not accept this and replied with, no, we will never die. Comrades live forever. Stanky Michael then just had to say something, ruining our moment. I said to him, you wouldn't understand, Stanky Michael. Yeah, I would. No. But how has he won? You see, Stanky Michael here was a bit confused. I never implied that he was one, and I never assumed his age in the first place. So eventually, I jumped out of the car because the endless jumping and insane driving got me very sick, but I was met with pedestrians thinking I was merely a speed bump, and I went out pretty brutally. After I respawned, I saw that Stanky Michael was stealing supplies from his bunker. Well, actually, it wasn't Stanky Michael running the operation, but someone else, but we don't really care as Stanky Michael is the protagonist of the story. So I caught up with them to help out, but also not saying anything and making them a bit nervous. For some reason, their enemies saw me as a threat, and only me, not any other random civilian driving. I think they just saw the iconic hat and the way I drive like a drunk toddler and they knew that they just had to get rid of me fast. Unfortunately for them, I'm able to gun them down and keep following Stanky. If Stanky Michael doesn't finish this resupply mission, I won't know what to do with myself. I'll feel disgusted and ashamed of myself if I'm not able to help him. Sadly, the footage cut out a little bit before I wanted it to, so you're not able to see the end of what happened. But basically, they were cornered, and so I jumped out of the car and used my superhuman strength to kill their enemies, and I carried the insurgent over my shoulders and back to the bunker. I then exited the bunker with them, and for some reason all of the NPCs and players in the lobby were standing outside clapping. This is 100% true. Next, I went over to my vehicle warehouse, and I realized that it was the first time I even entered the damn thing. So I sat through a cutscene that consisted of my assistant telling me how to push a few buttons, and I realized that I had no vehicles. I didn't feel like starting up the business, so I just decided to pick up my nightclub popularity earnings and my arcade earnings. But when I went outside, I saw that there was a business battle, and you know I don't pass those up. I headed to the location where I proceeded to kill a bunch of mercenaries that were heavily armed with a suit, a yellow t-shirt that says stank on it, and a hat that I could sip beer out of. That must be pretty embarrassing for their boss to hear. So I got the supplies and started driving to my nightclub. Things got a bit too close when some random dude in an oppressor came up to me and shot the back of my vehicle. Luckily, my nightclub was right there, and the mystery man was not able to catch me. I then picked up my nightclub earnings and headed to my arcade, where I found a white Prius outside, and I had a natural reaction. And that's why you don't block the entrance of my arcade, Kathy. So after that, I collected my arcade earnings, and now I had just enough to buy my very own meth lab. If only great-great-grandfather Bartholomew could see me now, he would be very proud. I then headed over to the clubhouse and bought myself the meth lab. But I noticed that when I left my computer, only the meth icon showed up. Maybe that was because I just bought it, but I wasn't sure. I went back into the computer and saw that my cocaine lockup purchase hadn't gone through. What happened to my fancy mom and pop coke lockup? Your guess is as good as mine. This mystery may never come to light and might always stay unsolved, but for now, that's all. I hope you all like this video of King Clorox's drug empire adventures in GTA Online, and if you have any ideas for a GTA video, let me know in the comments, because I have no idea how to structure these. But with that, I'll see you guys in the next video.